Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashate Dinasatani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhaktarunga Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langate Girim Yat Kripatam Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarine Hare Krishna. Today's verse number 11. Krishna is explaining about the transmigration and then who understands what's happening. And last verse Krishna mentioned Vimuda Nanu Pashyanti Jnana Chakshusha. So the foolish means those who don't look beyond the matter, don't look beyond the basic needs or enjoyment. They don't understand because they are caught up in the modes. Gunanvitam. But those who are Jnana Chakshu, who try to understand by Jnana, they can understand. So in this verse, Krishna continues the same description. Who understands this? Yatanto yoginas chainam
Yatanto yoginaschainam
Pashyanti atmani avastitam
Pashyanti atmanyavastitam
Yatantopi krita mano
Yatanto kritatmano
Nainam Pashyanti achetasa.
Nainam Pashyanti achetasa.
Hey, please chant.
Yatanto yoginaschainam Pashyanti atmanyavastitam Yatanto kritatmano Nainam Pashyanti achetasa.
Yatanto yoginaschainam pashyanti atmani avasthitam yatanto api akritatmano nainam pashyanti achetasah.
Okay, translation and purport. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly. But those whose minds are not developed, who are not situated in self-realization, cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to purport. There are many transcendentalists who are on the path of spiritual self-realization, but one who is not situated in self-realization cannot see how things are changing in body of the living entity. The word yoginaha is significant in this connection. In the present day, there are many so-called yogis and there are many so-called associations of yogis, but they are actually blind in the matter of self-realization. They are simply addicted to some sort of gymnastic exercise and are satisfied if the body is well built and healthy. They have no further other information. They are called yatanto api akritatmanaha. Even though they are endeavoring in so-called yoga system, they are not self-realized. Not self-realized. Such people cannot understand the process of transmigration of the soul. Only those who are actually in yoga system have realized the self, the world, and the Supreme Lord. In other words, Bhakti Yogis, those engaged in pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness, can understand how things are taking place. So here Krishna explains who can understand. So yogis means it's not like Srila Prabhupada mentioned, not the yoga of the body, yoga of the mind, if you are doing. So that in that also there are so many practices. So, okay, one type of yoga is that in all the yoga studios we have the yoga, right? Make the body flexible, and that type of thing, which are on bodily level, and there is no connection of mind or soul or nothing. That just bodily level. So that is a simple yoga. So those people, they are not doing any endeavor for self-realization. So they will not understand. Also, there are many yoga practices apart from this bodily yoga. There are many practices like who are doing the meditation, or who have scriptures, and they have some philosophy, so they are also trying to understand. But what is the purpose of that particular philosophy, that is very important. So, and sometimes the purpose is only to like in many meditations, it's like only the aim is to be peaceful. They don't want to understand anything other than that, so they do meditation for 2 hours, just observing the thoughts that are coming, uh, and trying not to react. That type of meditation, I have seen that meditation 1 hour or 2 hours people do, and then they feel peaceful. The reason is because they try to um, reduce the actions of the mind by just observing. So they feel peaceful. But that is also one level of understanding, or at least that is higher than the bodily consciousness, because you try to at least see the mind. But actually, we have self realization means to understand our own identity. Who am I? So on this line also, many people are doing the realization process. So that also they also call yogis. So they try to understand the soul, or some are much more higher than that. They try to understand the super soul, for example. So they are much higher level. They are higher level. But some yogis, or some what we say, the bhakti yogis, or they try to understand their own identity and their relationship with the supreme identity. For them, they are actually trying to understand the complete whole, and our origin also. So that is actually called self-realization. So there are different levels of understanding, or process of self-realization. So those who are trying to understand our real position and the supreme self and relationship, those are the highest ones. They will understand how the body changes. So like Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita. So those who really understand Bhagavad Gita, or try to understand Bhagavad Gita's real purpose, then they may understand how the body is changing, how the soul is helpless in this body and how it changes. So it depends on the practice that you are doing. And see, endeavoring transcendentalist means like we are also like doing sadhana, and we are also aiming, we are also trying to understand the self. So we may not be at the highest level of realizations, but at least if you try to understand the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and try to understand what Krishna is telling, then uh, at least we are attempting to understand the reality as it is. So though we may not be at highest realization level, but we are still trying to see the things as it is, as they are in this world. So by that, actually also we get the higher knowledge. So that way, the Bhakti Yoga from the beginning, it helps us to understand the reality and see the things as they are, without any um, our own interpretations. So not only in Shastra but also in reality. Like if somebody is doing a wrong activity, we try to see it from the Shastra. Okay, if this is a activity which is not recommended, then the result of that activity will be bad. That we see from the Shastra. we don't give our own interpretation. So this is a bad activity. But if it is in so and so situation, so it is okay. So that is some interpretation to justify. So Gyan Chakshu, he will take the help of Shastra to tell if it is okay or not okay. So that we get practice, or we get used to see the things as it is, and that actually helps for the realization. And not the normal yoga. So nowadays it's a fashion that you take the yoga mat and you go to the yoga studio, and then people who are doing the yoga, they pose that they are understanding self. Some maybe, we don't know the reality, but uh, from the external activities, it does not look like that. But understanding the body is one level of realization. What is happening in the body is, it's okay. It's not better than doing nothing. But that is not the ultimate goal of yoga. The ultimate goal of yoga is to understand our real position and our relationship with the Supreme Lord. That is the purpose of yoga. So if we are on the path of doing bhakti yoga, where we look for the highest reality, that is always beneficial, or that is always preferred path, because that will take you to the supreme goal. And when you are attempting to the supreme goal, the on the way to that goal, whatever knowledge you get also is the highest level. So when we try to study Bhagavad Gita, we try to understand ourselves, try to understand the Supreme Lord, then our relationship, and how all this world is created from the Supreme Lord. That is actually the path to the realization. So now Krishna has told that everything emanates from him. He is the source of everything. Arjuna has already concluded this in the 10th chapter only. After Krishna told the Chaturshloki, Arjuna confirmed that, yeah, you are the supreme. I understand. Not only you, but all the sages, everybody has confirmed this already. So I also accept it. So Arjuna has already accepted this. And whatever happening after that is to glorify the Lord. The Bhakti Yoga and the material world, how it is emanated from the Lord. So this type of knowledge actually gives us the real essence of all the Shastras. By that we can see the things as they are. So now if we read Bhagavad Gita, we discuss Bhagavad Gita, then when we look around us, we can see what's happening, and then we can actually realize that, okay, this type of thing is not going to give good results, or it's going to give a misery. So we have little higher consciousness of looking at the things if we can apply the teachings. So that is what Krishna is saying, that those people who are endeavoring, who are trying to do the self-realization, they will understand all these things clearly. So when Krishna says Jnana Chakshu, so what is that Jnana Chakshu? What is that Jnana? So Krishna will explain those there's few details in the next 2-3 verses, and that we'll see from tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So any comments? Hey, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you.